All right, so today we're diving deep into something that's got everyone in cybersecurity a little on edge.
Yeah.
AI making malware.
Right.
We're talking like the full works, viruses, worms, ransomware, you name it. And, you sent me this paper from the Alan Turing Institute.
Yep.
Their Center for Emerging Technology and Security. It's called Generative AI in Cybersecurity, Assessing Impact on Current and Future Malicious Software. Came out June 2024. So pretty recent. And Dr. Sarah Mercer and Professor Tim Watson really dig into, can AI actually make this stuff happen?
Yeah, and it's a question that everyone's been asking since we saw what AI like GPT-4 can do.
Right. Is my antivirus about to just become useless?
Well, the paper argues it's not that straightforward. We haven't really seen AI pumping out loads of new malware yet.
Okay, so let's break that down.
Sure.
We know malware needs to like get in somewhere,
Right.
hide out, and then do its dirty work. Where is AI struggling?
It's the thinking, like the strategy part. Malware has to be sneaky, right? Find those vulnerabilities and blend in like it belongs there.
Gotcha.
AI isn't that clever yet.
So we're not looking at AI just like roaming the internet,
No.
finding targets and cooking up custom malware.
Not yet, but what we are seeing is hackers using AI as a tool, almost like a coding buddy.
Oh, and interesting.
There are reports of them using ChatGPT, for example, to make their malware better.
So they're improving what they already have rather than creating something brand new.
Exactly. There was a case in a Microsoft Threat Intelligence report where hackers used AI for some of the steps in making ransomware. They still needed to do some of it themselves, but the AI was doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
So it's kind of like AI is giving them a shortcut.
Yeah, it's lowering the bar for anyone who wants to get into malware.
Okay, that's a little unnerving.
Yeah.
So AI isn't making super malware yet,
Right.
but it is making the bad guys better at what they do.
That's right.
But malware needs to find weaknesses in software to actually work, right?
Absolutely.
So can AI help with that?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because software, by its nature, is complex.
Yeah.
People make mistakes. And there's always pressure to release things quickly.
So there are always going to be holes for malware to slip through.
Right. And AI is pretty good at finding those holes. One thing it's really good at is something called fuzzing.
Fuzzy.
Yeah. So it's basically like throwing a ton of random data at a program and seeing if it breaks or does something weird.
Interesting.
It's like stress testing, but on a huge scale.
I see.
Tools like TitanFuzz and ChatFFL, they've actually found real bugs using fuzzing.
So they're finding things human testers might miss.
Absolutely. But the bigger question is, can AI find completely new vulnerabilities that no one knows about?
That's a big one, because if AI can discover brand new vulnerabilities,
Yeah.
that's a total game changer.
It is, but it also raises the question, is the AI actually discovering something new? Or is it just really good at pattern recognition? Seeing things that look similar to vulnerabilities it's already seen.
So is it thinking, or is it just really good at searching?
Exactly. And there was this case where GPT-4 seemed to be exploiting vulnerabilities in real systems. But it turned out it might have just been using known exploits that were already out there online.
Interesting.
So whether AI can really think outside the box and find totally new weaknesses, it's still up for debate.
Okay, so AI might be great at finding vulnerabilities, but can it actually exploit them
Right.
and write the code to do something malicious?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're really worried about. Can AI take that next step?
And that's what we'll be looking at next time.
All right, because this Turing Institute report,
Yeah.
it doesn't stop at just looking at where we are now.
No.
It actually takes us into the future
It does.
and explores what AI-powered malware could look like. I am definitely hooked.
We'll be back after a quick break to see just how wild this AI-powered malware landscape could get.
Welcome back.
So last time we were talking about whether AI can actually exploit those vulnerabilities it finds.
And this report from the Turing Institute gets kind of scary when it starts talking about the future of malware, like AI-driven malware. They paint some pretty nightmarish scenarios.
Yeah, one thing that really stands out is the idea of AI making malware that's way harder to detect, stealthier, more evasive. Imagine malware that's constantly changing its code.
Oh, wow.
becoming a moving target for security software.
Right.
That's what's called polymorphic code.
So even if your antivirus learns to recognize it,
Right.
the AI just tweaks it a little and boom, it's invisible again.
Exactly. It throws a wrench in our current detection methods,
Yeah.
which rely on finding those known patterns in malware.
Makes sense.
But the report goes even further.
Okay.
They talk about something called metamorphic code.
Metamorphic.
Yeah, it's even more advanced.
So what is that?
We're talking about AI that can rewrite the entire structure of the malware,
Wow.
but keep its malicious functionality.
So it's not just hiding. It's like
a chameleon that can change its shape to blend in.
So it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
How do you even fight that?
That's the challenge. It needs a whole new approach to cybersecurity.
Yeah.
One that can anticipate and adapt to that level of AI evolution.
Wow. And it's not just about hiding, right?
Yeah.
The report also looks at how AI could change the way malware targets and attacks its victims. So like right now, a lot of malware is pretty generic.
Yeah.
It's designed to infect as many systems as possible.
Right. It's kind of a one-size-fits-all approach.
Seal passwords, encrypt files for ransom, that kind of thing.
Exactly. But AI could change that dramatically. It's like a master thief who only takes the most valuable jewels.
Yeah, that's way more sophisticated than just encrypting someone's files and hoping they pay the ransom.
Right. And it's kind of terrifying how efficient it could be.
It is?
And then the report goes even further, talking about something that really blurs the lines between code and intelligence.
Okay.
The rise of malicious AI agents.
Okay, we got to talk about this AI agents. What are we talking about here?
Think of it like malware that's not just a program.
Yeah.
It's a system that can learn, adapt, and make decisions.
So it's making choices.
Yeah. It's malware that could plan and execute an attack.
Wow.
With a level of autonomy we haven't seen before.
So it's not just following instructions.
Right.
It's figuring things out on its own.
Exactly.
That's a whole new level of scary.
It is. Imagine an AI agent that can get into a network, move around, find the best targets,
Right.
and then decide how to steal the data.
Yeah.
It could even learn from its mistakes and change its tactics to avoid detection. And maybe even more unsettling is the potential for these AI agents to work together.
Oh, no.
Like a hive mind for cyber attacks.
That's like straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It is coordinated AI agents, each with their own specialty, working together to take down a network.
That's a nightmare scenario.
It is, and it shows that this isn't just about individual hackers with better tools.
Right.
This is about a fundamental shift in how cyber attacks could be carried out.
So we're not just talking about a few steps ahead.
No.
We're talking about a whole new game.
Exactly. It's like moving from hand-to-hand combat to drone warfare.
Yeah, okay, so big question then. If the bad guys are using AI to create this next generation of malware, what are the good guys doing to defend against it?
Right, because it feels like we're in a cyber arms race where AI is the weapon of choice.
That's the big question, right?
It is. It's one thing to talk about the scary possibilities.
Yeah.
But what about solutions?
Can AI be used to fight back against AI-powered malware?
That's where things start to get a little more hopeful.
Okay.
The report acknowledges the threats, but it also explores how AI can be a powerful force for good in cybersecurity.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready for some good news.
Right.
What can AI do to level the playing field? Okay, so we're back. And I don't know about you, but I'm still processing all this stuff about AI and malware.
Yeah, it's
It's a lot.
definitely a lot to think about.
But let's try to end on a positive note.
Okay.
We were just talking about using AI for good.
Right.
How's that actually happening?
Well, one area where AI is proving really valuable is in threat detection.
Okay.
Because those traditional security systems, they tend to be reactive.
Right.
They're looking for patterns in malware that they already know about, which, as we've discussed, AI can easily get around.
Yeah, it's like trying to catch a ghost.
Right.
You see it 1 minute and then it's gone.
Exactly. But AI systems can be much more proactive.
So how do they do that?
They can look at tons of data in real time,
Okay.
looking for anything unusual, things that might mean an attack is happening even if it's something they've never seen before.
So it's less about knowing the specific threat
Yeah.
and more about noticing strange behavior.
That's a good way to put it, like spotting someone trying to pick a lock,
Yeah.
even if you don't know what they look like.
Exactly. Are there any like real-world examples of this?
Absolutely. AI is already being used to catch phishing attacks,
Okay.
which are getting more and more sophisticated all the time.
Yeah, those are tough to spot, even for people who know what to look for.
Right. AI can analyze emails and websites and look for those subtle signs that it's a phishing scam.
Even if the message looks totally legit.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
But what about those vulnerabilities we were talking about before?
Right.
The ones AI might be so good at finding.
Yeah.
Can AI help us fix those too?
It can. Actually, AI is changing the way we deal with vulnerabilities completely.
Oh, really?
So instead of waiting for an attack to happen, AI can help us find and fix those weak points in our software before the bad guys even get there.
So it's like having an AI security guard constantly checking for weaknesses.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. AI can help developers prioritize vulnerabilities based on how serious they are, suggest ways to fix the code, and even automate some of the patching process.
So we're talking about faster patching.
Right.
Which means less time for hackers to exploit those vulnerabilities.
Exactly. It's all about being proactive instead of reactive.
Gotcha. And AI is a big part of making it happen.
Absolutely.
But I'm guessing that's not all AI can do.
No, not at all. Think about what happens after a security breach.
Okay.
Even with the best defenses, sometimes attackers still get through.
Right.
And that's where incident response comes in.
So like damage control and figuring out how it happened.
Exactly. Minimizing the damage and figuring out how to prevent it from happening again.
Yeah.
And AI can play a huge role in that.
How so?
It can help security teams assess the situation really quickly, figure out where the attack came from, contain the damage, and gather evidence.
So it's like having an AI detective on the case.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. AI can go through mountains of data, connect the dots, and find patterns that humans might miss.
So that speeds up the whole process.
Exactly, which is crucial when you're dealing with a breach.
This all sounds super promising.
It is.
It feels like AI could really give us the upper hand in this cyber arms race.
It could, but it's important to remember that AI isn't a magic solution.
Right, there's no such thing as perfect security.
Exactly.
So what are some of the limitations we should be aware of?
One of the biggest challenges with AI is that it's only as good as the data it learns from.
Makes sense.
If the data is biased, incomplete, or outdated, the AI might make mistakes.
So it's like training a detective with nothing but comic books.
Yeah.
They might be great at solving fictional crimes, but not so much real ones.
Exactly. And another challenge is that AI systems themselves can be attacked.
Oh, wow.
Hackers are always coming up with new ways to trick AI algorithms.
So it's a constant battle even within the AI itself.
That's right. It's a back and forth, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean we should give up on AI.
Right.
It's a powerful tool, and we need to keep pushing the boundaries.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway for our listeners?
I think the key message is that AI is completely transforming cybersecurity.
Yeah.
It can be used for good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And the decisions we make now about how we develop and use AI,
Yeah.
they're going to shape our digital future.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
Feels like we're at a turning point.
Yeah.
We're not just shaping technology,
Right.
but shaping the future of security, privacy, even society.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to talk about this stuff,
I agree.
to understand what AI can do, both the good and the bad.
Well said. This has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
Thanks for sharing your expertise with us.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of AI and cybersecurity. It's a complex landscape, but knowledge is power. The more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new reality and shape a future where technology works for us, not against us.